G'day guys, Terry here. Welcome back to another episode with Handcrafted by Terry G. G'day guys, Terry here. Welcome if you're new, and if you're a regular, great to have you back again. Hey, on today's episode, I want to talk to you guys about static grass. That's right guys, how to make your own static grass for your own model railway lines or whatever it may be. Maybe you're just a model or something like that that loves to do different dioramas. Guys, I have got the secret recipe, and I didn't come up with this recipe, guys. There's a couple of YouTubers over in the UK that actually came up with this brilliant idea. And that's right, guys, how to make your own static grass. And you wouldn't believe it, it is simple as. And all it requires is this stuff here, guys. Sisal rope. And guys, you can buy this from Bunnings. It's very inexpensive. I think I paid about $6 for about 10 meters, and a little bit goes a long way. And if you have a look down in the section I've got in front, guys, we've got a few different colors here. We've just got some natural, which is actually what this stuff is actually cut up. And I'll actually show you what I've done here as well. And I just cut some lengths, no more than say 50, 60 mil long. And that's it there. And I just cut them with a pair of scissors, and I just untwine it like so. And just get the strands out like that. And then I just break them down even more. And I'd probably cut them no more than say 2 mil up to 12 mil, whatever thickness that you may want. And then I've just got some acrylic paint that after I finish cutting them up into little strands, is I mix the acrylic paint up with it, which gives us a beautiful blend of static grass, guys. And this is it here. This is my homemade static grass, just out of the sisal rope. And guys, I'm going to demonstrate for you today on how to make this fantastic stuff. And it's very, very simple. Once you see how, you'll be making your own. Even though, guys, you can buy the correct stuff from Nooch or Woodland Scenic, even though this stuff is inexpensive as well. But how fun would it be to just like make your own? You can buy these from different places, from around about, roughly around about $12 up to whatever, you know. You can get a sample pack from Nooch. I think I paid about $57.90 for the sample pack. But you might be asking, what is static grass? And static grass is, guys, you use a grass static applicator, which is controlled by electrostatic, and you can actually use this to make your grass stand up and look more realistic. Now, I've just got a cheap brand here. This is just an ammo one that I bought off eBay. It wasn't very much. I think I only paid about $130 for it, but I've modified this, guys. So I'm going to show you what I've done to it as well, how I've modified to boost the charge up with this cheap old static grass applicator. Hey guys, we're going to start on how to make static grass. And what I did prior to this video was I just took the wrapping off, and I just cut little lengths about 50, 60 mil long. And then I just unwound it. So just little strands like what you can see on the table. And all you got to do is just grab a nice pair of sharp scissors or one of, you know, those paper guillotines you can buy. And just make little tiny slithers on what you can see inside this box here. And that is your static grass. So let's begin. I'll show you how easy it is. So we've got our strands of sisal rope, and I just grab it in a bundle like so. Grab a nice pair of scissors, and what I do is I just go along And I just cut little tiny lengths like that. So they just fall in a bucket like that. Now, I'm not measuring them, guys. I'm just cutting them to however that I see fit, really. As you can see, we've got some sisal rope in our bucket. Now, what I like to do is grab it within my finger and thumb. And what I do is I just run the scissors in like so and just cut it. So that way it gets even finer as you're cutting your rope up. Like that. As you can see, they're beautiful little slithers in there, ready for some paint. Rightio guys, once you get your sisal rope cut into little fine slithers like so, I'd like to get a fair bit cut up. And I like to get like natural and a few other different plastic containers like you can see in front of me. Now I'll just take the lid off so that way we can get our cameraman to zoom in closer. And as you can see they're all different colours, and all you got to virtually do when you're making your static rope is little ingredient that you can get just from your local cheap store like Choice or Silly Solly's or Kmart or whatever it may be. You don't need really expensive paints. I just go to my local cheap store and I just buy the $2 stuff. And what I do is with my plastic container here, as you can see, the natural stuff, is I put no more than, say, a quarter of a cup of paint into quite a large range of rope. And I like to mix in a little tiny couple of drops of dishwashing soap and some water. And what that does is that helps breaks down the paint and then binds to the little strands of rope. And then I get a bit of parchment paper on a baking tray after I mix all the paint in with our little strands of rope, and I lay that out and I stick that in the oven for roughly around about 15-20 minutes, and just on a very minimum temperature on your oven, which is around about I think 60 degrees or lower. But don't leave it in there too long or else otherwise it'll burn. So inside our cup here, you can see what I've done is I've made a crown inside. Now, if you have a look at the Static Kings and the other different brands, they've also got a crown on the top of the electro. What that does is that helps the static come further down within the cup. Because the cup's so deep, all they virtually got is just a washer on the bottom of them. So I've modified that so that way the static is a lot more. Guys, I'd like to apologise for the noise and you can hear in the distance. I've just got the printer running at the moment. As you can see in front of me here, we've got some 3D buildings that I actually printed for the model railway set. Little shops that I've made. So yeah, they turned out really good, so I'm really happy. So these will be going on my layout on the model railway. And guys, I'll show you now on how to applicate this wonderful homemade static grass, and it's very simple. So what I like to do is I like to use this Mod Podge. I normally get it in a big container, and I think I got it on special just yesterday at Bunnings there for roughly around about $33. So I thought that was fairly cheap, and I just get the matted stuff. Don't use gloss, because with the gloss underneath when you apply it, it's very shiny, and you don't want to see the shininess. You just want to see that dull look. That's why I go for the matted stuff. Very simple. So I've just placed it in a tomato sauce bottle. Guys, it's not tomato sauce. It's Mod Podge in here. And what I've done at the moment is I've traced around the buildings here in front of me. That way I've got a rough idea on where I want to applicate the static grass. So we'll move our buildings out of the way. And as you can see is I've just got a rough line where everything's going to go. And we'll begin. So grab your pencil, and I've just got a bit of cork tile here. You can buy these from Bunnings. They're very inexpensive. So say we want a nice layer of gardens there. So I've just drawn a couple of squiggly lines. And what I do is I get my Mod Podge, just add some glue to it.
Not there.
Not there, no. So, and I just paint that up here. Let's move that out of the way. Tomato sauce bottle was blocked. You get that in these big jobs. And I just like to dab it on.
Stipple it.
Spreading them out. How great was that last video with the Bundaberg Model Railway Club? Absolutely incredible how to make trees with Marion. It was fantastic to actually sit there and see her demonstrations on what she's done. And it really shows you guys at home on how to create stuff. And it's very, very easy once you put your minds to it. So guys, what I've got here is I've just got 4 different blends in here of static grass. So I've just got the natural, I've got the light green, the dark green, and the medium green, all in that. And I've just cut that up really, really finely and mixed them all in. So yeah, so what we'll do is we'll put that in the static grass applicator, like so. We're just going to put a little bit in. And guys, this does make a bit of a mess, so make sure that you've got your vacuum cleaner on standby, because you can reuse this stuff. So what I've got is a metal skewer, and I just put the ground lead on the metal skewer. There it goes on. And I just poke it in. Just hold it on there like that. So we'll turn our grass applicator on and watch our hair stand up. Give it a good charge. And then what I like to do is hold it so far off the material and just give it a shake. You see that, guys? See how the grass is actually standing up? So you give it a good cover. You see how the static's holding the grass up? See that? Hey, it works well. Stop. So make sure you put plenty on there. And whatever you can't cover, you can always use that Woodland Scenic spray tack. Okay, so we've applied our static grass to our diorama. Now what I'd like to do is I've just got one of those battery operated vacuum cleaners, but you can use the corded ones or whichever vacuum that you might have at home. And what I did is I just cut up an old shirt. And with the old shirt, I just got the nozzle, place it over the nozzle like so. So that way we can suck up any of the excess that's on our diorama and reuse that. So I just jam it into the hole like that. And I put the excess over the top of the nozzle bit. And I've just got a rubber band just around and I like to put that over the top of the rag, and what that does is that holds the rag from dropping onto the diorama as you're going to vacuum up the excess that we've applied. So guys, it's going to be a little bit noisy now, so I'm going to start our vacuum up like so, and I'm just going to run around the table, just clean it up, get most of our excess. Okay, so we'll start on our diorama, get most of our excess up. Okay, so as you can see, it's all nicely cleaned up, and all of our static grass now is in here. But we won't empty it yet. I'm going to do that after I explain this next step. Now this next step is very crucial, guys, when you go and vacuum your static grass. I like just to hold it, say, roughly 30-40 mil away. Depends on the suction of your vacuum cleaner. That's why I like using the battery operated ones, because they're not very powerful compared to some of the corded ones. So what I'd like to do now is just start the vacuum cleaner back off, and we're going to just go over the top of our static grass. How well does that stand up, by the way, too? Absolutely incredible. It's but how great is that, just from sisal rope? So let's begin. We'll start our vacuum cleaner back up, and we'll just give it a quick, get most of the excess up off the top, so that way it all stands up properly. So let's begin. Rightio. So we've sucked all of our excess up, and how well does that look, guys? Hey, homemade static grass from sisal rope. So our excess, whatever you do, don't hold your vacuum cleaner up, or it'll all fall out the end of your nozzle. So grab your bucket again, open it up. Now what I do is I just peel the rag back over, very easy. Grab the nozzle like so, just give it a twist out. Now I'm holding it up on an angle there, so that way the grass all falls down towards the rag. And then I quickly turn it over and just give it a light tap on top. And as you can see, some of the grass is starting to fall out of our nozzle. Peel our rag back off the nozzle, and as you can see, our rag's fairly clean. Now what I'd like to do too is give that quick shake over and get the excess out of our nozzle. And there's all our static grass. We can reuse all of that we've applied onto our dioramas, and it's very, very simple. So as you've applied your grass, and you just keep going to whatever different types of blends of grass that you want to applicate within it. And then when you're finished with it, then all you got to do is grab your 3D buildings like so. Stick that to wherever you like. Grab, I've got a couple of cars. So here's a couple of our cars. We can park them out of the shop. And yes, guys, little miniature Lightning McQueens. How well does that look? Okay. So that's what I'm using on my layout at the moment, is little Lightning McQueen cars, the miniature ones. And they really stand out awesome within the dioramas that you create. So guys, if you like this video, hit that like and subscribe button, so that way you're aware on the next video that comes out. I really love to hear from each and every one of you, so leave me a comment down below if you really like this video, unless you got any questions that you might want to ask about static grass or the applicators or anything like that that you might need to know on how to apply it. But thanks for tuning in today, guys. I really appreciate it. Smash that like, smash that subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. Guys, if you're after some merch, head to SMG Sports. Grab your Handcrafted by Terry G merch. So you can get stubby coolers and shirts and all like that. So get on to Brett from SMG Sports and get your merch. And guys, thanks for tuning in. Stay good to each other. And remember, as always, make it yourself. Take care. Bye now.